Hopefully that's good. All right. We're gaming. And by that I mean, yeah, about to be. All right, I need to quickly do this, and then run to set. Okay. Hey, hi. Ladies and gentlemen, is it too overexposed? Who knows? Yeah, did forget our little lights, which, oh, that's not even on, really. Is that good now? Some illumination. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you this fine day? Hopefully the audio is good and not god-awful. Fluff did message me and say that there was some weirdness going on in the last stream with the static. Whenever I use my lav mic, there is like a very, very tiny bit of like just general static that's like pinging through the air, and the one I bought wasn't like $1 billion because your boy spent so much money in a couple months that I'm like, God help me. And also I have yet to get the things, whatever it's called. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, have you seen this game before? This is one of the games I want to talk to you guys about. This is the game that I'm sure you've seen a little while ago, where it was basically like some sort of deep ground, like Steam back alley development kind of things, where it's like clearly like 3D assets, essentially repurposed, and they were shooting like weird Pokemon re-asset purchases. It was very strange. But people were like, dude, that sounds awesome, they're gonna get sued. Ain't nobody had made something like Pokemon and not gotten a fucking sued immediately by Nintendo. But somehow, some way, this game exists, and they took the, like, I think what happened is they had like this idea, this pitch of like, hey, what if we did this in Nintendo, or like, basically the pitch of this game is, think of like Fortnite or Ark Survival of Pokemon mixed with, yeah, Fortnite's a good guns. Basically Pokemon with guns. It's Pokemon guns. Basically, yeah, Pokemon with guns. Thank you, Lone. Yeah, you beat me to it. Pokemon with guns. But I think this game, I want to know the story, because fucking Nintendo has been so ravenous, just evil about like anyone touching their IP. Like you think Disney's bad? Holy shit! Has Nintendo just been like, I don't give a shit what the law says? Kill them. Kill anyone who touches our IP. Like, yeah. Ah, man. Anyway, this game looks neat. This game looks pretty cool. I'm not. It looks like it has jank though. I think it was being developed, and then Microsoft was like, how have you guys not gotten sued? Fuck it, we'll invest in it. And I think they like invest in them, and now it's like a Game Pass game, or Game Pass published game. But it looks legit. Like, if they can get rid of some of the clunk, I'm in. I don't love that it's like it seems like it's maybe leaning too hard into like, it's a PvP game. I'm like, I don't really want to fucking play a PvP Pokemon game, really, even though like I want the Pokemon experience, me running around a world and like grabbing and like taming enemy and like beasts and like using them against other weakened beasts or some shit, you know? But the fact that you can just unload a shotgun shell right into this fucking cute little thing's face is pretty fucking relentless. Also, the level of hadada that is going to come out of this game from the people who are making, those are all 3D modeled, rendered things. Golly, we're not ready. We're never ready, but people do it before we're ready. Okay, a little bit, that's a little horrible. Anyways. Also, Fluff, congratulations, Fluff. Well, it's kind of a weird congratulations thing, but you've taken a big step, basically. I just read your messages. Also, I appreciate you telling me the static thing. I have to look into that. I don't know. I haven't had a chance yet to look into it, but I think it might just be the baseline of the mic. And the mic that I use for our VR streams, it's basically like a high condenser mic. So it's a little mic that's on the side of my VR headset, but sometimes if it's not, like if I do this with my headset, it pulls the mic like this far away from my mouth, or sorry, this far away from my mouth, and that's enough for it to be super muffled. So like last time, because I was reading chat on my screen and not in the headset, looking at chat on the ground, because it's fucking hard to, you crane your neck and shit. Yeah. But how y'all's day been? Lone says, what's up? Lone says, Grin, I got some epic game news found out about this week. What is it? Hit me with it. There's a lot. I'm with you, man. We got a really good gaming week. like next 2 weeks is gonna be a really good week for gaming. We have the Xbox. I hope Fluff can verify this for me. Is the Xbox's game showcase next Thursday, or I guess this Thursday, considering we already had it. The next Thursday makes sense. Yeah. Is it next Thursday? We've heard a lot of things about, like, they're going to talk about Avowed. There's going to be some secret things that they didn't actually mention, but I think they came out and said they're talking about Avowed. They're talking about Suicide Squad, I think. They're also talking about like 3 other games. I was like, oh, fuck, I'm interested in those. People are saying we're getting a lot from that one, like, Nordic PTSD, not dementia, what is it called? Schizophrenia. Hellgate? I don't know what it's called. Anyway, Lone says, Fluff says, Pale World with some somehow better looking monster hunter design. Well, what do you call it? That's what I was gonna say. Again, I kind of fucked up my whole thought process here. I'm kind of scattered. I need to like dig in and be like, okay, here we go. But do you guys remember when you guys first seen this game? Like, I think we all seen like first when it was like, was that one of the showcases? And holy shit, I remember being like, this is cool, but it very much looks like an asset flip. Like, it looks kind of like rough. And then I see it today, and I'm like, it looks like a game. It look like you no longer have some sort of weird, like, hyper-sexualized Pokemon trainer, essentially. Instead, you have this cartoon version, which I'm assuming can also be hyper. But I have yet to talk or ask. I have yet to hear anyone explain in confidence what this game actually is. Like, you have to hear like 15 different people talking about it to be like, okay, so you're telling me it's like Pokemon where we can run around and capture monsters. Okay, so it kind of feels like Ark Survival Evolved. Big ass open world, run around, take monsters. Okay, we also have guns. Okay, so I can actually attack creatures. Like, bullets do a good job. We don't need to necessarily have like a water bullet or a water Pokemon fuck up this person, although maybe that does more damage. Sure. Okay, what's the loop? Is it an RPG, or is it like, what is it? Is it an RPG? Is it are we doing quests all the whole time? Are we fighting in PvP? Is it PvE based? Like, what's going on? But I also feel like I asked the same question with Pokemon, and a lot of people, they're like, you kind of just run around and grab Pokemon and shit. Also, fuck, that looks messed up. Yeah, see, then there's shit like this, which I think this game is gonna fully send, like, shit like that. We're like, your Pokemon is a bullet shield. What? Excuse me? These are Pokemon that are slaves that will just crank this thing forever. Okay, what? These ones just manufacture guns for the whole time. This feels very wrong. It feels very, it's like, yeah, it's also wrong to make tiny cute creatures bow to the death, okay? It's fucked. It's always been fucked, okay? I know, this one I think is by far the closest. What IP? Little indie games that get like immediately shut down by developers, and like instantly, and then there are like hadada parodies of your various Game of Thrones, of massive IPs, of every kind of massive IP. There's always like a spin-off hadada version, parody, whatever you want to call it, of it. How come they're okay? And the reason why, this is what I heard on a couple podcasts a long time ago, which I thought was actually kind of clever, is because it doesn't actually, you can easily make an argument that they're not the same audience type at all. So, one, the business doesn't really care about it. Like, for instance, Nintendo wouldn't really care about a hadada parody because it's not going to cut into their margins at all. Like, and also it is different enough to where you can't argue that even if they're using things that are almost identical to what you're using, it's just not the same audience or type of environment that's being used in. Whereas, if you make video games, and you make video games about capturing monsters that look kind of cute and Ghibli-like, whatever you want to call it, yeah, that's like, that's a problem for Nintendo for sure. But anyways, I'm happy to. I'm happy to. feels like the fans are going a million miles per hour, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. It's my streaming PC. The stream looks nice though. So, I'm not sure. I haven't kept up. I'll catch up on this. Monster Hunter Story is essentially Pokemon. But you don't really capture Pokemon, and you don't use beasts to fight for you in Monster Hunter though. You know what I mean? Where Pokemon, it's like no, the vessel is the the trainer could be a spirit for all we care. It wouldn't really matter. The things that are like your entry point and your effect on the world is a Pokemon. I think that's my understanding of Pokemon, at least. Fluff says, I'm not sure. I haven't kept up with the upcoming events. I'm still unsure what all the releases are releasing soon. Yeah, that was the other thing, man. We have actually a lot of. That's why I said there was a good week for gaming. I think next week we are getting. I think it was like a VR game, which is exciting for me, but probably not for you. But there's another thing that's coming out in the next couple weeks. I forget what it was, but I was like, oh shit. I have such a bad memory. I should write them down too, because I feel like I'll forget. They'll sneak up on me again. Alone says, so, you know how we talk about Battleborn? Well, I found out that there is a fan-made project called Battleborn Reborn, which allows you to play. But yeah, you were there, Alone. You must have been dozing off. We were playing. What is it called? Arizona Sunshine, and a person who used to make some Battleborn videos with me popped in, and I heard about it. It's basically a Battleborn Reborn. It's an effort to like allow you to play Battleborn again. Oh, is my mic breaking? Is it still breaking? Is it breaking or is it okay? How broken is it? I'm realizing this. I might not be able to have this thing just out in the open, or in my pocket. Can we get can anyone reply to me and tell me if it's still breaking? Test. 1 2 2 2 2 test. Oh jeez. I don't know how I would fix it from having been braked or broken. It's okay, but it was cutting in and out. Yeah, it's probably because this fucking thing needs to be like, it's in my pocket, and that's kind of not in my pocket. It's off to my side, but the damn signal is eating it up. Anyways, I'll just hold it awkwardly like a weirdo. But yeah, sorry, the Battleborn remastered thing. It's interesting, but it's not what I think. It's like yes, the effort has been started, but unfortunately, there's not like a thing to do yet in it. Like you can. Basically, unless it's gotten better, Lone, you'll have to tell me if it's gotten much better. But you basically can go and like jump in and maybe type in a code, and then it'll start you playing the campaign mission again. And yeah, but like you can't even pick your artifacts. I don't even know I think you can level up. I don't know. And yeah. I think that's right. Yeah, but there's no like PvP. There's no like you can't use your artifacts. All this stuff that people would actually be like, dude, come on. I would totally jump back in and play a couple rounds if I could actually play the campaign and all that stuff. So yeah. Thank you for telling me that, Delta. By the way, appreciate that. It's like they decided to make a game inspired entirely by Pokemon entry. Yeah. It definitely feels like a game that is like unarguably, like you look at this and you're like, I either think Pokemon or Fortnite, but that's kind of almost synonymous at this point. And yeah, also again, having a Pokemon with a chain gun, dude, fire. Okay, but then there are moments like this where I'm like, what is this game? What happens? What is going on? You know, like, is it a survival game? Do you just kill? Do you quest? It feels like it's Ark Survival Evolved meets Pokemon. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Instead of dinos, it's Pokemon, which honestly I think is much more interesting, because dinosaurs are kind of fucking lame a little bit to me. It's staticky, Grin. I hope it has been improved. Fluff says, I'll do more research about Battleborn Reborn. Yeah, I feel like it's yeah, I will see. I feel like very much so. It is. I'm excited. I'm interested, but it has yet to be something that I think a lot of people like. I can even talk about with excitement because it's not what I love about Battleborn. You know, it's like it'd be like someone being like, hey, you know, I remade Minecraft, but all I added was the water physics, and you're like, the water physics was nice, but or the water like infinite dupe water thing, sure. It's just not what you want from, or at least I want from the thing. I want multiplayer. Although that's crazy though to me. And when someone told me that like you have like I didn't realize how badly they killed Battleborn. Like I thought they at least let you keep the quests, but I guess not. I was blown away at that. I thought for sure you'd be able to keep like the side quests and shit like that, but apparently not. Not the side quest, sorry, the main story. I just thought they turned off the servers. No, I didn't know they turned off like the entire thing. Like it's just dead. That feels really bad. Because at least then you're like, oh, I paid money for something that I don't actually get able to enjoy. Okay. Well, Fluff says Monster Hunter Stories is a spin-off where you tame, ride, and... Oh, stories. Oh, I see. And battle with monsters. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I thought Monster Hunter was always just kill. Kill monsters, not like tame them. It was rock, paper, scissors, turn-based combat. Oh, that was why, probably. I seen turn-based, and I thought, I'm out. I'm out. Fluff says, I'll do some research. Fluff said, no, Lone says, I just saw a video about it a few days ago, seemingly interesting. Yeah, no, it's definitely really interesting. Again, as a person who loves Battleborn, you know how I talk about, like, Let It Die? I'm like, I'm not sure if I'd go back if they even, you know, this and that. I have no hesitation on going back and playing some more Battleborn. At all. Yeah, I deeply miss that game. Like, the more time goes by, the more people, I think, realize that, man, that was such a good game, and it was done so dirty. You know what I mean? Oh. Fluff says, but also, since I only informed Grin about it in DMs, I submitted my two... No, yeah, I mentioned that at the top of the stream, Fluff. I was saying that I was saying, I don't know how to really respond in essentially, but what I want to say is like, congratulations, this is a massive new step. But at the same time, it is someone like going into a thing that other people would not, maybe not other people. It's just not like purely positive, you know. Also, there's destructible environments. So it's not that it's probably purely positive, especially knowing your background. You telling me about how it's taking a toll on your health and all that stuff. But you basically handing in your resignation, which I did read your DMs just now. And yeah, man, what do you call it? It's like it's exciting, but I'm also fully aware of that are being like this kind of, I don't know. I feel like most people would have this tension, but knowing all of the buildup that you've told me over the last couple of weeks, I feel like it'd be more excitement because you know this is coming for a long time, and now you finally like, at least to me in my head, I think to you it would feel like I'm finally starting this race. I'm finally starting this, like, either the hunting of a job that I actually find is meaningful and I feel like I'd be good at, and all those things. So as much as I think a person would be like, I just handed in my resignation to my job, would be like, ugh. I feel like knowing what you've been through for the last couple years, no, months, I'll say, yeah, what do you call it? It might be a little bit more exciting as well. Like, like starting a new chapter in your life kind of thing. I submitted my 2-week notice last day. 26th, 27th. Your last shift will be on the 26th or the 27th of this month. What day is it right now? It is 17th. Oh fuck yeah, Fluff! You have to give me an update on the how everything ends up panning out, because you handed in your resignation, but I don't know how, because again, I feel like you've built up a lot of personable relationships with like the core people around you. Maybe not like the top of the top, but the people around you. I'm curious what the reaction to that will be. Like, if you have a good office relationship with some of the people in your department, does that make like you leaving them feel like angry and like you're abandoning them and like the frustration, or does it make them feel like, nah, I get it, I'm probably gonna do the same thing, you know, go, I'm happy you were nice to me this whole time. Like, I don't know what the net result would be. I feel like it'd be dependent on what stage you are in, like yeah, like what department you're in. Like if in an apartment that's like suffocating, and you're like, God damn it. But I even still think people would be happy because everyone else is thinking the same thing. Like, I don't want to fucking have to do 5 hours more than everyone else just to, even though you're not paying me worth that much, you know. Lone says, next up, Grin. Remember when I was telling you about the Devil May Cry gotcha game? I told you about this. Or maybe we told each other about this. Maybe we keep fucking blacking out and forgetting that we talked about each other. But yes, I remember completely. I seen a thing of it and I was like, oh my god. Devil May Cry game, so it came out 3 days ago, and I'm playing, ooh, is it good? Is it good? I always wondered, like, why? Like, out of all the games to make gotcha or, like, that whole thing, I never thought you'd do, like, Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry, I feel like could work with a lot of things, but just not. That's such a weird get. What was that? What just ticked on my phone? Oh, nonsense. Fluff says, oh, let me catch up. I did find a better job. Yes, I did too. Fluff says, in similar news, here, City of Heroes Homecoming, my go-to private server, has received an official license from NC Soft, and makes me happy to see others playing and talking about my all-time fave MMO. City of Heroes, yeah. My go-to private server. Oh, I see. Okay, so I thought you said like my server. I'm like, do you make a server? And okay, no, we're talking about like your go-to server. Everyone has gotten official. Nice, nice. That's sweet, man. Yeah, yeah. I think we looked it up one time. It looked like a really fun MMO. Fluff says, I haven't yet been having time to get applicants sent. I want to find something remote to better suit my. Yeah, that makes sense. Lone says, next up, so Grin, oh, right now I talked about that. Fluff says, right, I was elaborating since since there was mic issues, oh, I see. And other in chat wouldn't known what I was, okay, makes sense. Fluff says, 16, I just was like, hey, I read it. I did the work to read it. When people DM me, I try to make a point to be like, I see it, I just can't see it the day you post it, probably because I'm in like a fucking focus loop of editing. The 16 months, Fluff says, by the time I've exited this job from late 2020. Yeah, it's almost like a year and a half. Is that right? Yeah, it's a year and a half, right? No, it's 12 months is a year, so yeah. I'm bad at, yeah. Fluff says, the only thing the only thing is likely to happen is the director will ask me why, but I've made it fairly clear to the point in the I'm about to say you put in the resignation letter, so it's not even just like, hey, I'm quitting. It's like, hey, this is what's going on. I wonder what you what did you put in the letter? Just like I just want to know the like some of the things where you're like, did you go like, hey, did you do the soft exit, which maybe is best because, you could ask them for a referral or something. They could call your employer, and if you're like, fuck this whole company, they're like, all right, he was a horrible person. Or did you like a soft exit, or were you like a stern exit, which is like, I'm leaving because I'm overworked, my health issues are not being accommodated, and what do you call it? We are doing far too much in our department for fucking 3 or 4 people. And yeah, it is bad. It is rough at the very least. Was it like that level of like, or is it like, you know what, life happened and we're kind of just looking for my next step? There's a lot of exit ways you could go. I honestly feel like the second one would be more appreciated, because at least then they know, like, okay, yeah, yeah, I get that. Most of the shifts have been solo. I don't really have anyone to inform or apologize to. Oh, I didn't know that. Golly. So that's also why you probably have been like, hey, yeah. Yeah, because I think that's what you just said. You said at the very top, where like they're planning on hiring people, but it's kind of little too late. There's Monster Hunter now from the same devs who made Pokemon Go, and now it's DMC game. Oh, huh. People are trying to cash in a little bit. Fluff says, City of Heroes released shortly before World of Warcraft, so unfortunately, it had been slept on. It's a slept-on competitor to the game, and it has really good mechanics. Decision made doesn't inspire decisions made didn't inspire future. Oh, I see. Gotcha. That's so unfortunate, man. Again, as you get older, there's a long list of like games that you wish would have sequels that deserve sequels. Whether it was Battleborn or we talked about one Sunset Overdrive a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Oh, Delta says, would you like another manga to read, Grin? Buddy Delta, I'm getting fucking lit up. Actually, no, Delta. Well, first of all, I read your gamer one. I don't feel like I'm confident to say I either like love it or hate it yet because I just haven't read enough of it. And it hasn't like. There's something about like manhwa, and there's something about like manga and shit like that like I can tell they're written in a certain kind of way. Like a lot of the ones I really engage with, I almost feel like are written in a kind of a Western perspective. It sounds weird, maybe not a Western perspective, but there's a perspective or like a story that is told very much through like I'm just gonna say it really clearly, or not clearly. I'm just gonna say it straightforward. I've noticed when I read Chinese manhwa specifically. I don't know if that gamer is technically a Chinese manhwa, but I noticed that the stories to me are a lot less. It's almost like it's very dopamine driven. Like it's like main character gets powers. In the middle, instead of being like the main character goes home, kind of gets confused of what the fuck's going on, and then he goes and it cuts to the next morning and he's talking to his friend and then something happens. Whether that's like his powers arise, the main character feels a certain way. Maybe there's a creepy like amorphous shadow that's following him. There's like that kind of slower pace like dopamine delivery. And then there's like the Chinese equivalent, which is I've noticed is literally just main character gets powers. Here's how the powers work. And then immediately it's like in the middle of the main character's walking home from school. There's a fucking martial art battle where people are summoning demons, and there's like this crazy girl with like a red hair, twin tails, who just fucking punches the shit out of this lizard demon. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? What? How did we get here? What? You didn't explain shit, And it's not that it's bad. And again, I think that gamer one, it's not written that way. I'm being hyperbolic and exaggerative, but I do find I'm like, man, I don't even know what's going on. I mean, I get what's going on, but it's not like. I want to sink into the world. I want to sink into the characters, and then I want to be given like a cool premise, and then to go from that. Like almost like arcs, like story arcs, where it very much seems like gamer, at least at the beginning. I'm sure it gets better. It very much feels like it's just a fuck ton of things happening, and I'm like, okay, now there's this. Okay, now we're trying to learn that he has this power. Okay, now there's apparently other people with powers. And it's just a constant like, oh, there's this, and then there's this. It's like very Gen Z, fucking dopamine kind of thing. And I prefer like one that I'm really enjoying recently. It's a manhwa that's called The Beginning. No, what is it called? Oh, I want to say it's like The End. The end starts at the beginning or something like that. But basically the premise is this guy, all of humanity gets teleported into a tower. The tower starts, there's like this option in the tower for like a regression stone. So you break the stone and you go back in time and you could do it all over again. But what they don't realize is that why the fuck would they put this in the tower if every human being that ever was in it that was climbing it could just regress and do it all over again? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Only at the end of the thing do you realize the tower itself is called the Tower of Nightmares, which means it's all an illusion. Like, you going back in time isn't actually a thing. You just have the like fucking dream that you're going back in time. So the main character is basically, we start the story with him basically being like the last human still climbing, like a psycho, like just refusing to, all of his friends are dead. We see like the tragedy that befalls him, and he's still just climbing because he's like, this is bullshit. I don't believe this for one fucking second that like we actually can go back in time. Also, what does it mean for this dimension? Because they kind of make it seem like they're going to another dimension to go somewhere else. So he's like, I'm not going to leave this dimension behind. Anyways, point is, he ends up punching through, beating the tower, going into another tower, and that's within the first 10 chapters. But they do, like, even though it sounds like a lot of ground's being covered, it's just a nice, slow, like, bang, bang, bang. Gamer is Korean. Maybe that's what I'm talking about. Maybe it's Korean and Chinese manhwa compared to, I don't know, there's like, again, I just noticed that there's like, it's the same tone across the board. Like, I've always been able to know there's a very, like, specific type of cultural perspective difference on the way they approach storytelling versus like either I think Japanese storytelling and the West storytelling, which is like beginning, middle, end, setup, conflict resolution. And I very much feel like the other one is like it's a lot of misdirection, which is good. I could see how it could be like really engaging for people being like, I don't know what to expect next. But for me, it's a lot of like stuff happening. But again, I haven't read enough of the gamer manhwa. I still want to. I want to at least make it to chapter 30. Before I kind of like it's maybe not for me. But right now, I think it's neat. Like I don't think it's bad. I like the premise of this guy having like a cheat sheet. If those guys know, the manhwa was basically a high school student happens to get a skill called Gamer, which allows him to basically see the stats of everyone else around him. This person's level 6, this person's level 17. By doing random things like doing the dishes, doing a chore for his mom, going to the library, he gets intelligence, XP, and all these things. And then this integrates with like him realizing his best friend is like level 30 and something. And he realizes, oh, my friend's fucking like a weird high school god, essentially, like some sort of weird martial god who's befriending me, but he's not telling me that he's fucking out here slaying monsters and shit, and so on and so forth. It's a lot. It's a lot. But I like the premise of like that'd be really cool. I wish it wasn't in school, because the school setting is kind of like, okay, I think it'd be neat if it was like in a fantasy world. That way at least, there's something else to kind of pull you towards, because it's kind of weird of like Joe Schmo guy in tie is a fucking electric god or something, and you're like, what the fuck is that about? And it's just like, you know. Alone says there's no weapon swapping, which overall makes you feel very limited in engagements. And I understand why they do it. It could make it. Yeah, it could make it so it's easier to play different versions of the character. Yeah. But that's a tenet of DMC, switching weapons. That's weird they don't have it. That's so strange. Fluff says, I was just taken aback to learn wasn't UE4. What you mean? Also, sorry guys, I lost some comments because I was rambling about stories. I watched a video going over a DMC gacha game current roster, and it was pretty much like Genshin's Spiral Abyss, ZZ, Honkai areas fights with a lean towards 3 characters instead of 4. Okay. Huh. I'm not sure if I jive with that. Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'll still find it hard to get my head in like Devil May Cry being that, like a gacha-esque vibe. And even swapping between characters. Maybe I could see that being a little bit. Oh my god, your little guys can craft, like just build stuff for you? Oh, that's so fun. This game seemed great. Anyways, I know you can like make houses and have your like little Pokemon work for you. Craft it. The reason it's like that is because you're following the perspective of the protagonist who has no idea what's going on right now. It's not like the perspective thing. It's not like I'm using Gamer Delta as the pattern I've noticed across the board of like all of these like certain types of manhwa. I don't know if they're what they're like, what it is, but it very much feels like it's like the rhythm is more like quicker paced with less slow moments. Like I can't think of any moment in Gamer which was slow. Like I've read the first 8 chapters. It was like guy, he's in class. His friend meets him. Then it jumps to explaining the fact that he can see like levels on people's heads, and then it jumps to him like doing a quick quest for his mom, which it gives him some XP, I guess. And then like that's all within the first maybe 5 or 6 pages, I think. And then immediately cuts, I think to him like them quickly mentioning that he, I guess, dumped all of his points into strength, and then they jump to another thing where what was it? It was basically I think that's at that point he ends up getting tied up by this like slime monster, and that's when all the crazy stuff hits. But I wouldn't even say it's slow in the beginning. I think the patterns that make you like really invest and like feel like locked into the story, which I think is why like even in the first chapter of that I read, in the comments of that chapter, everyone's just like, please keep reading it because it gets better, and I'm sure it does. But it's fucking hard at the beginning, like because I don't feel like I care really about him. They haven't shown me like he's a character that's worth giving a shit about. He hasn't been like overtly kind to somebody. He's kind of been like, I fucking got this skill and it's stupid and I don't know. And I'm like, I don't really want to root for you, you know. So the root for like the main character seems like kind of a neutral, Whereas in some manga they make a real good point to be like, it's why like stupid things like banish from the hero's party work so well, is because we realize that this main character is nice, kind person who was basically shed on by people who should have valued him, which everyone in this life has probably felt like they weren't appreciated enough at some point in their life. So we can relate to that, we connect with that, we immediately ground ourselves in the story and start rooting for the character. Things like that I notice in these type of mangas or manhwas. They don't do that. It's like they tend to just, it almost feels like they want to get to the middle act as soon as humanly possible, but in doing so you kind of don't slow down and don't really try to like sink into a character. Does that make sense? Well, Fluff says, alright, Battleborn Reborn is available from Battleborn Discord server. It now has an auto-update client, so you won't have to download the files from Discord every time. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, and so far they've got character selection, controller support, some settings, the prologue, and 8 missions. Yeah, see, the 8 missions I knew, and all 5 operation missions. So yeah, so that's I feel they're making good ground, because when I looked, I don't know if they had all the character abilities and stuff like that. Or, yeah, I don't know if you said character. You said character selection. But yeah, I think that's largely what I heard about too. So again, I let me know is immediately when they have the PvP, then I'll be locked in. But like the campaigns for Battleborn were fun, but they weren't like, that was the least cool part of Battleborn, I think, Also, I think like the characters leveling up, like the helixes and the special upgrade, like legendary artifacts you got to make your melee do so much damage, or your like cooldown to be nothing. Those are the things where I was like, God damn, this is sick. Again, I still remember Aredni having one of the funnest like characters just to mess with cooldowns. Lone says, and the combat, if I had to explain it, it would. Oh, this is about the Devil May Cry gacha game. And the combat, if I had to explain it, would say it's like Hoyoverse games. You have your basic attack, one skill, and one ultimate. Okay, yeah. I feel like, again, I was shocked that we didn't immediately get a lot more gacha Genshin games, because it was making $1 billion, and I felt like it could be done by other people. But I get it. It baffles me that the Devil May Cry was the one that was like, we'll do it. It's like, why? Why you? But you have to let me know, is it fun, Lone? Or like, if you were to rate your experience, would it be A+, B+, C-? What? Maybe give me like 2 categories. Like, it's fun, but it kind of also feels janky or something, Delta says, I thought you liked the slow burn. I told you. No, but that's my whole point. I don't really find it as a slow burn, Delta. I find it like I don't know. I don't know what, like, to me, a slow burn, but that's like done really well. And not that Gamer isn't done well, but the slow burn one that I really enjoy is it's like a slow burn, but it's done in a really methodical way. Like, didn't I give you one that was a slow burn? Did you not think that was kind of a slow burn, where the main character is like, when I mean slow burn, I mean there's like a beginning, a middle, and an end. Like, even within like certain segments. Like, for instance, the one I gave you last time, I'm not sure if you actually ended up reading it. I read yours. You should fucking read mine, all right? Damn. The one I gave you last time was like the main character starts his life. He's in this tiny village, and then within like maybe 2 chapters, they put a button on like, okay, he regresses into this game. He starts this village. They immediately explain that like his best friend has a good stat, like she's like a sword sage or something like that, and his other friend's like a monk. He ends up training with them, and then his dad ends up getting hurt or something like that, and then he ends up going to help him fight some things. But I'm doing a bad job of explaining but that's not how that whole thing works. Basically, they wrap up like main character enters into this world, starts befriending everyone. There's like this coming of age story, there's coming of age ceremony, and then they immediately like put a button on that, and then the next chapter is him basically like trying to get to the ability to summon things as like a 3-year-old. He's trying to summon like a monster as a 4-year-old or some shit. Terrible at it. He's grinding and grinding and grinding, ends up surviving by the edge of his teeth. Then he gets his power. That's now concluded. Now the next thing comes up, and it's like this like beginning, middle, end, over and over and over again, where I feel like I'm making progress. Whereas the other one, I feel like there's like, it's like a, this happens, and then this happens, and then this happens, and I'm like, I don't think we've concluded or felt like we got to a point where we're like, there we go. It's one of those. It's like new thing. Here's some interesting thing, and then it goes right down, you know? They've got 30 characters plus PvP missions. I'll keep an eye on the stat. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I hope it pans out, that mod. Plus says, I'm sure playing the PvP will still be tough since won't have the gear there. Yeah. Lone says, and how much do you have to pay for one multi? Is $50 for one multi. And then they have the nerve to say that it's 90% off. Are you telling me that one SSR character originally priced is $500? Dante's one-man show variant looks like a lot of fun though. Wouldn't definitely build an electric team if I could stomach the gacha. Yeah, I'm about to say that gacha sounds fucking brutal. Those discards are BS. Fuck. If I had to rate my experience, I'd say my first impression is a C. I'm about to say with that gacha, mine would be F. F bullshit. Oh golly, that's too much. Yeah, $50. Like at least lie to me. At least try like, hey, bud, you could spend $1 and maybe get an SSR, you know, instead of being like, no, you're gonna have to really sit in it just to get one. Essentially was a release under such a discount. Fluff says, Grin, did you check out the Dragon's Dogma 2 IGN showcase? I didn't. Oh, maybe, I don't think so, unless it came out this week. Should we slap that up on there if that is the case? I have not. My main thing I was doing all this week is basically prepping for, I wanted to try doing daily videos just for 1 week, just to see if I could do it with the VR channel. But man, every single format I've made for myself takes time, which means it's usually like a pretty good format. It's a pretty good fun video, but trying to find like that lean, like how much can I do within like a 1 day of, not a lot, turns out. But trying to find like, okay, I could download these 3 mods. I think these 3 mods have a connection thread of like Half-Life. Maybe it's like Half-Life mods. And I'm like, okay, I could showcase these, make a cool thumbnail that really shows like something iconic from Half-Life, like the gravity cannon, something like that. Maybe like a cool, like grabbing one of the people, like pinning up against the wall. That could be kind of fun. And then I could like basically do like a video like, this will hold you over until Half-Life Alyx, you know, or Half-Life Alyx 2. You're like, okay, that makes sense. But then it's like, okay, I got to edit that and make a thumbnail for that, all within a time in which I can upload a video. Basically, it's like, oh. My best bet is to like record a bunch of gameplay and then edit it as much as I can throughout the week. Yeah, we'll see. Oh, the tea's coming. Ooh, Delta says, so you dislike the way the story, you want something more slower and story driven? I don't know what I want, Delta. I feel like I should just show you my like top 10 list. And then from that, you could get what are the things I jive with a lot, you know? Because I feel like right now it's going to be like a really weird learning experience about like, well, no, that one just didn't. I feel like it's easier for me to just do like at the very end of the stream, Delta, if you're still here, I'll throw like 7 of my most favorite manhwa that I found over the last year in the chat, and then you read. Sorry, not read. Then you then I can just. Yeah, I can tell you, like, these are the things that I really fucking jive with. And then from that, let me dip into your bank vault of knowledge about manhwa and manga, and give me the ones that are akin to it to an extent. I will say some of monster designs in Palewind are dangerously close to the official Poco. Yeah, no, fucking for sure, for sure. I wonder if we're ever gonna get that, what is it, Vaporos or whatever the fucking horrible meme is. Oh no. Knowing how, knowing that knowing this game is like, it's totally okay with making like Pokemon bullet shields and shit. And making them like wince as they're doing like fucking slave labor essentially. I feel like there's totally gonna be like in the subtext of one of the Pokemon like, this Pokemon might be the most efficient, similar to the human anatomy. Apparently there is a story also, which is shocking. Lone says, but the game is you just playing it, and I feel like there is fun to be had. But the main thing I play in DMC games is for the. I might say there's fun to be had, but the main thing that I really come to these games for isn't necessarily there, or isn't necessarily as polished as I think it should be. Is what I feel like the experience would be. Sled Dogs looks like Dave from, for example. Left is the roster from the DMC Gacha is like 3 versions of Dante, 3 versions of Virgil, 2 versions of Nero, and 3 versions of Lone says I liked them. So I linked them to the gaming channel of the server. Okay, I'll check that out in a minute. The first video is where they cover the fighter, warrior, and sorcerer. Second video shows the trickster, and the third video is more of the internals about the Sphinx. Okay, thief, fighter, warrior, and sorcerer for the first video. Okay, which one has my archer? Because that's the only one I care about. But I will also enjoy the others probably. Lone says I was playing through the story, and pop for the SSR Virgil Endless Judgment came on my screen, and then they have different packs where you can buy currency to summon or buy the other character itself. Eek. Guess how much they wanted for you to buy a character straight out? $100. Oh my god. Well, one, it really puts things into perspective of how insane everything is. Like, oh my god, like in reality, $100 could actually, for some of these Genshin people, be a steal. Which just tells you how fucking bad, like, the whole of gacha is, you know? Maybe $100 is like, just ludicrous by any means, but yeah. But the idea that you're basically spending almost double what you spend on a game, a little less than double than you spend on a game is insane, you know? I was playing through the story and popped that. Lone says, needless to say, I will not be spending any money in the game, and then even if I'm still playing the Game Pass, it's the first. Yeah. I would definitely not advise spending money in the game. I feel like that is a trap, big trap. Yeah, that just seems so like almost. That seems so bad that they're almost not pretending. They're almost seeing how much they can get away with. So I hope it's not a lot. I hope it's like fuck you, you're getting away with nothing. But I will say, man, what do you call it? I was going to point out and say, I was reading something and it triggered something on my brain. Damn it, I forgot what it was. I'm not sure they make bootleg Vaporose. Fluff says, I'm not sure if they'll make a bootleg Vaporon that goes all into the meme. I don't think all into the meme. I think it could be like a little like, like, hey, the most humanly similar thing or some shit. Love says, but they already have one of the chassis, the male monster for Night of Passion 1. I was gonna say, one of the funniest memes to me is that whole like a parent it's like a parent opens up his son's room and is like, I just want to know, I feel like there's a lot of weird things happening with your Pokemon that you're summoning, and then it cuts to the fucking kid in the bed with his 3 fucking Pokemon, and there's just a bunch of jacked Pokemon like wrapping him up, and he's like, elaborate, excuse me. If that, ladies and gentlemen, if that was your kid in that situation, where your kid was there wrapped in muscular men Pokemon, would you just be like, I don't want to know? I would just, if I don't see anything, I'm just gonna leave and walk away. Oh, that'd be my response. I'd be like, you know what? I don't need to know whatever any of it, what's going on here. Okay. Oh shit. But I already have that. None of them are showcased. The arch, none of the main ones. I figured none of the like hybrids. One day hopefully. Fluff says Trickster seems really interesting. It's a player-owned vocation that does not directly fight, but instead, uses illusion and smoke magic. Yeah, that was the smoke magic we seen, which was cool. It had like incense. It makes me depressed because it was supposed to be the summoner, but it wasn't supposed to be. I just was hoping it would be the summoner. But yeah, I'm sure we'll get information about it when it comes to the rest of the vocations when we're near a release. Yes, I believe so too. Fluff says, fitting, the 1997 Berserk anime will be released on Blu-ray in March too. Yeah, I see that they were making. Got my nose. I see that they were making like a Berserk anime, and people were like, "Oh my god!" Hopefully, it's not shit. You know. Anime was that. The original Dragon's Dogma had Berserk crossover content before Dark Arisen DLC and the licensing expired. Oh, okay. Had Berserk cross? That's awesome. Lone says, moving on to a better gacha game, Grim. I got 2 new Nikitas, and I will show you at the end of the show again. Let me switch over to this other gameplay, ladies and gentlemen. Forgive me for having to alt tab out all the time. It's an imperfect system, but we're doing our best here. This one. I'm very excited for Pale World, though. I hope I'll have time to play it, and we'll be having a good fun time with it. I feel like it could be a good hub game, which is what I keep mentioning these last couple streams. I'm still trying to look for one that I feel like could be that Tang. What am I doing? We're going to our Discord. We're going to our my nose. You said you put it in the hub, the gaming channel, Fluff. You don't add me. I don't see anything because I don't see the red mark beside the tabs. I just see the screenshot tab, the remnant tab. I don't see it anywhere, Fluff. Okay, gaming. I see. The Sphinx one. Let's do the Warrior Fighter one. This. Hopefully it's long. Oh shit! On my whole life, it's like fucking a million years. Yeah. How did I miss this? Goddamn IGN still gets all the goddamn news things. I'm not in the loop at all. I will say though, hey, Delta, did you not watch my manhwa? Or not manhwa, do you not read my manga? It's not manga? Oh, sorry, Granny, but I was too busy. I never got around to it. Ugh. A whole week I was thinking, listen, man, I gotta at least read some of this manga because Delta told me about it, so I'm not gonna be that guy who's like, yeah, I love it, and then just never fucking read it, so I read it. Oh. Well, it's fine. Hopefully, we'll have some time eventually to check it out. I'm not. Out of all the manga that I read, it's not like a must read. I just thought it was neat. But yeah. Anyway. On a side note, first of all, God, this game looks pretty. Every time I see it, my sinuses just get lit up. This also doesn't help that it's so cold in Canada that it's just crazy. Crazy. I'm sure we'll get information about it in the vacations and when it goes to release. Scratch that. You got 3 Nikitas. You just pulled one. You sick man. Jesus. Absolutely crazy if that happened. Fluff says Berserk has expired that. Oh wait, no. So Berserk has existed as an anime for. No. I know. Berserk has begun. I know. I'm saying like Berserk is notorious for having one of the worst anime adaptations ever. So I was like, I heard people be like, it could be a nightmare again, or it could be maybe good, and yeah. For a long time, but they might be continuing it with the late Muru's blessing. Okay. Delta says, sorry, manga. Gonna run the manga you told me about. Give me the name. Sorry, I'll read it. No, it's all good. It's all good. You do it. It's fine. It's fine. Fluff says, I'm probably going to play the Mystic Spearhand, and I wonder if it's replacing the Mystic Knight. Guess it makes sense that the hybrid class might be more unique with their weaponry. Weird. Lone says, no, I didn't just pull one. Just pulled. Oh, you just forgot about when you pulled. Gotcha. Makes sense. Oh, there were things I wanted to talk to you about, and then we hit Struden, and then my brain just goes. I don't remember nothing. Yeah, the only thing that's kind of crazy, I'm not sure if you guys have been also experiencing it, but Canada has been getting like freakishly cold. Not Canada, I should say. Where I live is getting like freaks. Oh, I'm so sore. is getting freakishly cold. Like it's. I realize Fahrenheit is not ours. Celsius or whatever the hell is ours. But yeah, it's minus. I think it's minus 40. We've had minus 40 days that feel like minus 50. Which when they say feel, it means the wind shield. Or it's always something else. It's like not windshield, it's some other weird variant if I think it. But yeah, it's just cold as hell. Anyways, but other than that, I feel like I'm so annoyed at myself. I wanted to talk to you guys about like there was some. I mean, this time I could ask you guys. I don't know if you have anything to say really about it. It's just one of those things I think I just gotta sit with and like think about a lot. But I was gonna ask you guys what do you think is a good, knowing our channel, our Mind Palace and Madness channel. What do you think is a good lean video idea? Not even an idea. What is a good lean video format? So we have our buckets of like storytelling kind of thing, which I quite like, and then we have like kind of our RP series too, where we kind of like role play. Wind chill, that's what it's called, wind chill. Yeah, but basically, it's right. Can you guys think of any kind of like format that would be something that you could do, like that is very lean, like efficient? So, for instance, one of the series we have is called like experiential storytelling, is what I always refer to in my head at least. But it's basically like, oh, I really think, maybe it's these mods in this video game. Maybe it's like, I really love Half-Life, or I really like, let's say Cyberpunk. I really love Cyberpunk. Let's do this instead. Destiny, sorry. Let's do Destiny. I really like Destiny. I really think it'd be really awesome if one day we could have a Destiny VR game. Wouldn't that be awesome if Destiny released an update that said, hey, we're making it for VR now. You can put on goggles, experience the guns, have animated reloads. Awesome, right? Wouldn't that be great? So in my head, I'm like, okay, well, that could be a fun video. If I've seen 3 or 4 Destiny mods, why don't I make a Destiny VR video where I'd like make that in Blade and Sorcerer, or make that in Bone Lab, and I basically just showcase these cool things. If you happen to be a fan of Destiny, this could be a good way to see what this could be and how good that could possibly be. So then I go and I download all those mods, and then I try to do like a run of me just playing with the mod, getting a fun sense for it, kind of like live commentary fun goofiness. And then I edit a voiceover and like make a story of what we experienced in like a fun way of like jump cut this, let's cut out this nonsense, and I just pull you guys along. So that's one of them. But that's a lot of like, you gotta get the mods, you gotta put them all in the game, you gotta then film again, then you gotta film, you gotta do a voiceover with more filming, and then you gotta edit that all together with sounds and all these things. I'm just trying to think of like something that I could do repeatedly. Maybe. We'll see. Hopefully. Lone says, no, I don't just pull that one. Fluff says, Grin, a cold front has been traveling south from Canada. It's currently snowing here. It almost never snows. Oh, fuck. Well, get ready. Prepare. I hope it actually doesn't get that cold, because a lot of people can't handle, like, the fact that it's reached in area, like, minus 50 at times here. That's a problem kind of cold. That's, like, nearest the coldest weather on the planet kind of cold. Not planet, sorry. It's just extremely cold. I think Alaska gets pretty fucking cold. But I'm talking about, like, out of all, like, the normal, not like you're in the fucking eye of the storm kind of places. That's kill you cold, for sure. Fluff says, a lot of northern half of the U.S. has been experiencing dramatic cold weather. Eesh. Delta says, Grin, the name, damn you. I'm not going to stop until you find it. It's all good, Delta. It's all good. Don't worry about it. It was probably a shitty anime anyway. See, this is my issue, Delta. And I don't know why. I try not to let this kind of stuff, like, bother me. I can't. I've tried for fucking 16 years to try not to let this stuff bother me. I don't know what it is, but I find I get like really, really excited about something. I'm super into it, and I get like super giddy. And I can't describe to you guys, but I just get so full of life, and I'm like, God, this is so neat. I can't believe this like cool thing existed, that kind of thing. And then as soon as I tell someone, I almost always feel like it just doesn't satisfy me in any way. Now, sometimes it's because, yes, some people are basically like, okay, cool, whatever. And they just completely like dissolve you and what you're interested in, which is not good. It's not good. But then there's sometimes, I think it's mostly what happens. I think mostly when I tell people, and then they're like, oh, it's great. And then like, so I'm also like in my head, maybe it's better that you don't read the manga that I liked, because then you're like, you know what, Grin, I don't really love it. Like, I kind of did that. I did not do that with you, Gamer. I still have the hope that Gamer could pull back and be a fucking banger of everything, but these are the issues I noticed that comes across the board of all these types of stories I've seen. It's like a pattern of not weird, just a different type of storytelling, in terms of like just the weird delivery of every arc, I guess. It feels very frantic, and not what I'm used to. But yeah. But to say, yeah, basically the same thing. Like, I'm almost protecting myself by not telling you the manga. So that way, you read it and you're like, Granny, yeah, it wasn't for me. But I'm not even sure if I want, like, I don't even know if you being like, oh my god, that was the best manga I've ever seen ever. It was so good, it was the best. Oh my god, yes. I don't even know if that would make me feel better about, like, me talking about the thing I really enjoy. It's weird. I don't know. Maybe it would. Hopefully it would. But I'm not sure anyone can relate that. I always feel like a lot of times when I tell people something that I'm excited for, it almost like I lose some of the excitement. I'm not sure if it's because their reaction is just like, unfortunately, not very positive, or if it's just that yeah, doing so it almost makes me feel like it's less special because I just had to reduce it to its easiest to understand sentence, I guess, you know. I don't know. Also, what is good, Nong? Nong says, yeah. I was I was supposed to work today. Couldn't make it out of my driveway. Yet alone through the up-plown road. So here yeah, man. Holy shit. Yeah, it's hilarious. I remember it was like one of the craziest things. And it's unfortunate because like it's one of the things that when Texas got like snowed in like crazy. Everyone was like, it's like this unfortunate ego of like people who come from cold weather being like, first time, oh my god, it's so much colder here. It's extremely unfortunate. But to me, it's also like, it's kind of like there's the doucher way of being like that, like, yeah, it's so cold, I'm used to cold. But then there's also the level, does that thing have a dong? What is going on with that? Anyways, sorry. Yeah, there's also like the level of like, there is this weird thing of like, it's hard, man. Like, living in a place that is, like, again, it's also the thing that frustrates me, is a lot of people from, like, Toronto or from other parts of Canada will be like, oh my god, like, it's so cold. It's so cold and it's hard out here because it's cold. And I'm like, fucking what? Like, just because someone is from Canada does not mean they're, like, good at handling cold weather. Because there's a ton of locations in Canada, like a lot of the capital cities, it doesn't get that cold. It gets, like, minus 15. Where I live gets, this is me peacocking a little bit, it will kill you weather in the winter and in the summer. It's heat stroke in the summer, that hot, and then you'll die in the cold winter. It's like minus 50, all right? With the windshield helping it reach minus 50. It's fucking bad. It's bad, okay? The only thing that we got going for ourselves this year is we have not got a lot of snow. The weather's still trying to kill you. The good news where I live is that it looks like a heavenly location when it is not those seasons. So like when it is not the coldest part of winter, it looks heavenly. Autumn, unrivaled where I live. Autumn looks fucking cracked. It's so beautiful. Everything's so orange, crisp, clean. Summer also looks pretty good. But man, is there like 2 months of like you're dying. The mother is like, I've come to collect. It's time to die. You know. Delta says, too late. I found it. It's called Hell Mode. Is it? Is it called Hell Mode? You can expect a review from me soon. Oh no. Oh, I wish I gave you a better manhwa. I just had the inclination to give you like a manga or a manhwa, not a manga, a manga or manhwa, a colored anime, fucking whatever you want. I wanted to give you one of the ones that is my favorite, but then I thought to myself, what if you hate it? What if it doesn't resonate with you? And then you have to tell me how it didn't, and then I just feel my soul leave my body as the thing I love and cherish, was not appreciated by another person I also appreciate and care about. So it's just a fucking mess. It's just a real mess. I want to be the kind of person that can tell people things and just be like, yeah, I feel nothing. I can tell you about it and not want you to also be excited and into it. I want to just be able to tell you and be like, I feel nothing. But then I just feel like it's insulting to you, because then I just feel nothing for you either, you know? Yeah. What is good, Rasta? Is that Raid Nate also? Is that you? Rasta says, hey Grin, I today played some Prince of Persia Lost Crown demo. Oh man, it's actually really? Man, I seen a lot of people talk about it, and I was like, who the fuck is playing this game? Sorry, I love Prince of Persia, but I just was like, I don't know, man. Just playing a Prince of Persia side-scroller kind of game, it's such a weird sell for me. I know it's for somebody, but I was just like, I was blown away at how many videos I seen pop up on my sub feed about like, there were other games that came out this week. Why this one? Did Ubisoft pay you? I don't know. But maybe it's fucking a great side-scroller game. You guys just haven't got one of those in a while, which is also fair. I just think it's like the same thing that happened when we got a Prey game, Prey 2, where people were like, oh my god, Prey is awesome. They really like the Bioshockification of Prey, which is cool. But at the same time, to me, I was like, do you guys not remember what we could have had? We could have had like a cool cyberpunk noir bounty hunting game. And they just bricked that, essentially. And I'm like, ugh, why? Why, God? Fluff says, everyone is acclimating to their respective areas. I don't know if that's true. Cause it's not like where I live, we're like, yeah. Easy. It's like, the weather is killing us today. This is a problem. Like, this is one of the funniest things, things that people misdiagnose with Canada, which is like, Canadians are so nice. Canadians are respectful, because if you're not respectful, you'll die. If your car gets broken down in -50 and there's a fuck ton of snow everywhere, if you're not respectful, the level of a person slowing down and helping you hook up your car to a very ridiculously gigantic truck with oversized wheels is complete peacocking. Pull your ass out of. We need those people for sure, or else we're fucked. Pull you out of the fucking snow. You'd die. You'd probably die, or you'd be in your whole day would be completely cannibalized, or death. And yeah, you don't really account. Maybe Australians, I feel like they seem like they really adjust to tons of ferocious wildlife killing you, or having the possibility to kill you. Canadians, I don't know if you ever really get good at it's so fucking cold that you're gonna be in a problem. You can die. I also didn't realize I could have been like, that was in the anime Delta. I've never heard about that anime my whole life. Damn. Alone says, Grin, not sure if you heard about this, but in the finals, the devs said they have some new content coming. Hopefully, some new game. Ooh, I can't wait, dude. If it's new game modes, I'm in. The finals is still to me one of those games that I adore watching, and I really enjoy playing as well. But man, I do find when you're losing in the finals, it feels really hard to want to, because you're just like, man, it's just anything that requires composition. Usually it's funny because it's probably a smart thing on the finals behalf, but hypothetically, also did that guy just yeet his person 20 feet just to be able to heal him away from the enemy? That's smart. In the finals, when you're struggling in a video game, oftentimes it's a natural proclivity to either to basically try to vent at something. Something is the problem, and usually as human beings we don't like to mention that it's our skill or something, right? So a lot of times, say if it was a Call of Duty game, people would get mad at the gun. Oh, this gun is so fucking overpowered, it kills you in 2 seconds, it didn't have a chance to aim, such bullshit. Oh, I got naded, that's so stupid, nades are too powerful, things like that. Oh, the C4 is such a fucking bullshit thing in a battlefield, these kind of things. But in a game that is very, very heavily pushed towards cooperative play, it takes off from you being the guns being the problem, and instead it's your teammates not being the problem. Your teammates not being in the right position. Your teammates not doing XYZ. So it's an easy trap to fall into. And I notice I'm doing the same thing where I would love a game mode in which I don't have to I feel like I'm so at a disadvantage when every encounter becomes a 1v3, because even if I hover on my tank forever, they have no interest in doing the same for me. But it's tricky. Yeah, but I would love that. That's good to hear that there's potentially a different game mode coming. Fluff said the original Prince of Persia games were side scrollers. Yeah, I get. Okay, yeah, I guess. To me, these Prince of Persia games never felt like a side scroller. It always felt like a game that just technically yes. I feel like it's more like the camera was locked in a location, but then it would pivot to you going forward, to you going. The camera almost feel like it just had like set pieces. Where side scroller to me, it always seems like you're looking at the character from here and then going left to right. Prince of Persia had moments where you were like going forward and around and jumping, coming back around in these weird ways, and the camera got like locked into separate locations. But yes. But what's so good about the Prince of Persia game, by the way, Ross? What if you could point out why it's so good? What makes it so good? Love says, and this one is a Metrovania type style thing, so even better. I mean, the normal climate exception is an exception. What? I mean, the normal climate I can't read that. Exponential. This is an exemption. Okay, I see. Also, what's good? Ross is over here now. What's good, Ross? Ross says, yeah, but look at how Cyberpunk turned out. CD Projekt Red almost made it dead. What do you mean? What do you mean? What is that referring to? Nong says, same here with the POP. I know originally Prince of Persia, it was a side scroller, but my first and favorite was Sand. Okay, so maybe that's why I'm messing up. I was like, I don't know, man. I remember Prince of Persia being like you'd hit a button. Mine was when you hit a button and you just arrived right back where you were normally. So the original Prince of Persia. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah. I think I played the second one, the one where the dude was like covered in like one side was black and like sandy, and the other side was human. That was mine, and he had like the fucking crazy chains coming off him, and you never got to really look that way, which is kind of shitty. Only when I think you pulled back time, but like you never really got access to this crazy like tail chain whip thing. Kind of unfortunate, but anyways. Yeah. I wish Prince of Persia got the God of War treatment. I wish they just took exactly what God of War did and just said, fuck it, we'll do that. And maybe added some like Assassin's Creed elements. Like everyone for the longest time has been saying, I want a Prince of Persia that is Assassin's Creed like. Like I just want Assassin's Creed, like Shadow of Mordor, except Prince of Persia, which Shadow of Mordor is basically fucking Assassin's Creed in a way. People have been saying that for a long time, and now I think people would be also down with the Prince of Persia that was just straight up with the other one. Hello from Twitch says, Lone. Hello. Delta says, you won't ever disappoint me. Don't do that to me, Delta. Don't do it to me, Delta. California can't even handle a rainy day. Yeah. Well, California gets wrecked by like just the slightest heat temperature increase because they're fucking in the middle of the hottest place ever. Delta says, Grin, buddy, you don't need to worry about that. Is all part of the recommendation manga. I mean, you're not enjoying my gamer right now. I'm not saying I'm not enjoying it. I did not enjoy it. I feel like I felt kind of nothing. It's almost like the same feeling I felt like when I started watching the Magic and Muscle anime, where like I want them to sell me the character. I want him to be a good person. I want him to be a bad person. He can be a bad person too. That's fine. I just want to kind of have something I can feel like I can dig in. Right now, I feel like the first couple chapters is just a guy who has a power. I mean, one day it might change. That might be huge. Dude, I feel so much that there's gonna be like guides on Dragon's Dogma where it's like, go to this specific location. There's gonna be an ogre on a mountaintop. You're gonna try to get him to fall off the mountaintop, do a death throw, kill him immediately, get this high-level resource, sell it, make a bunch of money, profit. Because they just found that guy fucking sleeping in the river, or some shit. Rasta says all the bugs and such and flashing lights. What do you mean? What do you mean? It took him a while to fix it. Oh yeah. Oh, you're talking about them like fixing up Cyberpunk. Yeah. Fluff says obviously people aren't expected to acclimate to inclement weather conditions. Okay. Lone says, in the finals, I've been having a blast running the shield. Most of the enemies end up running away with fear because they don't do anything. Yeah, well, I was about to say, I don't know really know what you do. My only reaction was I'm pretty sure my shotgun could out damage your melee. I think so. So my only reaction would be like, okay. I also can't you shoot the feet? Can't you like shoot the feet of the person? But I'm not sure how to deal with that because I haven't fought any of them. I haven't fought any shielders coming at me. But yeah, I always feel like I would just be like, okay, eventually you're gonna come close enough to where you need to hit me, like melee hit me, and then I'll just shoot you with my shotgun. I think my shotgun can out damage your melee hits, and if it can't, what the fuck? If it can't, that's some bullshit. But I feel like the baton has to be, because even like the saber, it's still like a 3-tap. And the saber only has its special unique case is that it has a lunge, and the shield's unique case is that it has an impenetrable damage field in front of it, essentially. But I still think you can shoot the feet, so I wonder if you ended up like aiming your shield downwards, if you would be okay. Although Lone, what do you call it? I'm so jealous, Lone, of your shotgun skin. By the way, I seen a gameplay footage of it today, and it's like night and day. Like the difference between the lever action shotgun with and without its skin is so different. Like even the way you aim with the normal skin, you're doing it like this, and you're like half of your forearm basically takes the stock of the blocks the screen essentially, and with the new one, you're basically just aiming like this, like bang, 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 and then it just seems so much like you get so much more screen real estate. It just seems like it's weirdly better, like not like it's actually like game definingly better, but it does seem like there is some like leverage aspect of having that skin. But yeah, also just like so much more clean with the reload. Actually, I don't think the reload's different. I think it's just like the shooting, all that stuff is different. Rasa says, you mean Sands of Time? Maybe that's what it was. Yeah. Fluff says, Warrior Within. I also love the design of the shell-shaded Prince of Persia game. I don't think the gameplay was that great because I think it was just very basic at the time. But I really dig that one. The one that was like really shell-shaded and stuff like that. Dude, like Prince of Persia had this fucking awesome scarf. God, I fucking love shell-shaded so much. I love the art style so much. It just has, it's so saturated. They made it so good in that way. Yeah. Fluff says, Warrior Within was the second of the 3D games. Sands of Time was the first. Okay. I don't know which one I was then. Nong says, you played the second, third POP. I think it's like the 5th. Yeah. So I don't think I was like day 1 Prince of Persia. No. Actually, that's not true. I think we were. I don't ever remember it being like the whatever this version of like I think Fluff named it like it's like Metrovania or something like that. I don't know what it's called. This is like side scroll. What I would determine to be a side scroller is like the camera never doesn't aim at the left at like the side profile of the character basically. I remember there being like even in the oldest Prince of Persia that we had, which I thought was Prince of Persia 1, but maybe it was Prince of Persia 2, or maybe it was like the rebooted whatever it was. But I remember basically the camera had like basically anchor points, so like it would look down on you doing like platforming. And then when you would get to this point, it would go think, and it would teleport over here. Or sometimes you'd be like, it'd go pink, and then you'd walk straight forward, like in where the camera is, and then you'd do like these jumpies like that. But it didn't feel like it was the same side scroller type vibe. But I don't know. I played the third Prince of Persia. I think it's the 5th. But the original Prince of Persia was like on the SNES. Okay, so maybe not. I think my first. Okay, so maybe I didn't play the first one. I think the first one we played was on like PS2. I think. Well, there's a Samurai Champion anime. Actually great. Well, there's a Samurai Champloo anime, which is actually. What is that? I really enjoyed Prince of Persia Sands of the Time. Yeah. Was that the shell shaded one? You guys keep throwing out these names for me. And again, I know you're a normal human being. I am almost strictly a visual human being. I'll never forget like the look of something in my brain forever. But when you mention a name, I'm just like, it means nothing to me. It means nothing. Unfortunately. I wish it did. It'd make my life really easy. Lone says, no, you can't shoot the feet and grin. You can do that, but it's hard because I can still block bullets without putting the shield all the way up by turning my character slightly to the right. Ooh. I might have to watch some of those montages. Some of those, like, there's a lot of, like, the finals montages. Which is funny because sometimes there's some people who are cracked, but then eventually they realize that there's like a pattern in people really liking those types of videos that are just kind of like drip feeding them. Or like, he's like, oh, here's the SMG. Here's like the new skin for the SMG. Let me make a cool thumbnail with it. Totally works. Awesome video. But then clearly they like don't play with like a lot about the shotgun. So then all of the clips for the shotgun are like, I got a kill. And then it cuts. But then, like, with the SMG, it's like, I got 2 kills, I got 3 kills. I jumped up behind him, put C4 on this, grabbed it, threw it, boom, kill, done. And the shotgun, it's like, kill, I got 1 kill, cut. Get 1 kill, cut. And, like, this could be taken from 50 games of you just popping off. But not really, you know. Oh. Lone says, no, you can't shoot the feet. And then I can just bolt towards you, blocking most of the shots. A few might make it through and hit me, but not enough for me to feel threatened. I need to look up this. I never really I've seen the people popping off with the saber just because of the movement, but I have not yet seen people popping off with the things. What do we also have, Lone? We have the shield. Don't we have one other thing, another melee weapon? Or are we one of the few that don't have 2? Because I know the light has a dagger and a saber. I don't know. The heavy has a sledgehammer and a... What was the other one? He also has a saber. What is it? God damn it. A sledgehammer and something else, I think. I don't remember what else we have. Then I can block towards, blocking the most few shots. Lone says, I will become a shield hero in the finals. That'd be awesome. I feel like some people have beaten you to the point, but I can't wait to see that, Lone. Lone, that is one of the few things I feel like I can actually, I feel like healing in the finals, I go back and forth of like, is it even felt? Like sometimes I don't even know. Like the recon one, I feel like it might be better just because you know where enemies are, all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure if it's also shared with your team. I don't think that's the case, but maybe. But the healing thing, it's like sometimes I just feel like, I don't know, because I think it always comes back to like, it's hilarious because it's a thing that I don't really think about when it comes to healing. But I've always thought like there's a problem in like RPGs or MMOs. If there was ever a story about like how someone wanted to do a story about the healer role, how there's an inherent problem with that where people basically feel pain. So like, oh, I'll heal you when you're getting like I'll heal you from anything. Eventually people are basically, I'm tired of being in pain. Like I still feel pain. I still get healed, but I still feel pain. So it's like kind of a shitty get, you know, eventually I'm going to get tired. But then I didn't even realize, and this is what kind of is a thing in the finals, where sometimes you heal someone who is already resing. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, that was so loud. I tapped my chest. Sorry. Sometimes you meet people in the finals, or when you heal someone in the finals, it's basically like them being like, listen man, I've already accepted that I'm dead. I've missed 5 of my shots. You bring me back or pulling me back from the brink. I might be able to get this shot, but I'm not trying as hard as I was. You know? So there's like a defeatist mentality if you fail so hard by missing shots. But I also think it's different. I think for me, the shotgun, you really feel the loss of a missed shot, whereas people with an automatic gun can just sit there and go and just go to town. I just wish the shield had some cool skins. It'll get there, Lone. For sure it'll get there. Eventually your day will come. For sure. I do feel like the finals, the leveling up your skill tree kind of thing is brutal. Like, I think I have 10 hours in the game, and I fucking have not made a dent in my season pass, which is shitty. I always wish games basically just, like, the season pass could be attained by you just existing in the video game. Maybe not existing, that's a little bit too cheap. Oh, well, the fucking, yeah. I don't even think that's that bad. Because people could just leave their console on, but I don't think that's that bad, because you'd still get the money of people wanting. Like, there would be a greater incentive. Like, one of the reasons why people don't buy the season pass is because they don't know if they're going to get everything. So if you could find a way to kind of make it so that you could get more player time, which would help with, like, your initial sales and your investors and things like that. But then you also would get people basically having more incentive to actually buy the season pass if they actually have maxed out the season pass ahead of time. So, yeah. Plus, I think the healing beam is good for cash out, but not useful for bank it. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Fluff says, plus the resurrecting prevents the player from changing the loadout to any reserves. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I don't agree with the reviving though. The reviving to me is like one of the strongest abilities in the game because you basically bring back a sentient aiming thing. Sometimes it can be not very good at aiming, but sometimes it can be really good. And also it can happen in like a split second. So like you immediately turn a 2v1 into a 2v2 by like quickly just the speed in which you can just go bink and bring someone back to life, even as cannon fodder, is pretty legit. Plus yeah, Bankit was running mainly the turret or recon side. Yeah. Also, how do y'all have so much money? Yeah, I find I don't have any change left. Like I also have a problem like splitting like. I'm like, ooh, the Scar or whatever is really good in the finals. I'll eventually will use that eventually. Let me buy it. Oh, you know, I think I'm going to use these fire grenades. They're awful. Like, I think I just made a lot of bad choices early on, which are like, they're just not very good, at least for me and how I play. And yeah. Rasa says, the finals is too chaotic. I kind of agree in some ways, but it's also like, that's some of the funnest times we've ever had. Like, last night we were playing the finals, or yesterday I should say. And oh my God, we had like a lot of counters where it was just like everyone was just dropping in. You're like bouncing on jump pads, trying to get away from people shooting the shit out of you. People were like shooting at Lone. I dropped down, shoot him once with my shotgun so that Lone basically can just one tap them. Then I try to heal Lone so that way he has the opening to go and be a little bit more reckless. But there's like a split second of like Lone having to realize what's happening and then doing it. But then Lone was doing it really well. And then it's just like that everything's happening in the storm. And if you're ever able to succeed with your team, like maybe your buddy just died. So then you do a slide, you jump through a window, you do a slide, you activate your paddles, you bring him back to life, then you dart right back through the window, then you heal him maybe, or then you go help Lone. And then it's just like this quick like, I guess that's to me why I love about the paddles. The paddles feel like you can literally just change the tide of battle. Like, I want a do-over, and bang, everyone gets to somehow win that encounter. Nog says, I enjoy watching the finals, but I'm fairly sure it's not my cup of tea to play. I generally suck at PvP shooters. Fun to watch. Y'all play that. I mean, yeah, I'm also with you though, Nog. Like, that's one of the things that I kind of get frustrated with myself. Is like, man, I'm not really improving. It feels like sometimes. I always feel like that's a big misdirection. I feel like when you are younger, you have a mass proclivity towards absorbing new information because you don't have any information in your real brain. You're pretty empty up there. You don't have that much experience. You don't have that much anything. So you basically are just like a sponge. Your brain will just latch on to anything. But when you get older, one of the biggest things to know about your brain's neurology and how you basically learn and become better in all these things is to basically, the best way I was always told it is research something, acquire data or information. Then the second part is basically do the thing until you get frustrated. Frustration is literally your brain taking damage, and then when you go to sleep that night, which that's the third act, is sleep, that's your brain actually figuring out how to adjust and become better. So when you're older, how you actually learn and improve at things is by absorbing a ton of information, then applying that information to the extent in which you get frustrated, because if you never get frustrated, your brain never really has anything to really learn about because you're just kind of coasting. But as soon as you get frustrated, push past that frustration a little bit, causing more like kind of like threads in your brain for your brain to learn that night, then go to sleep. Your brain will then basically format itself and fix those kind of like glaring issues, whether it's like cognitive, motor function or anything like that. So if you can always remember that like sleep and damaging your brain are basically the two most important tenets, but not like damage your brain in terms of like fuck your shit up. I'm talking about like actually learning. But I think that's when you can see an improvement, because I do notice that I'm like, man, I'm not really doing that good. But then if I think about when I first started the finals, I think I'm doing much better, especially with my shotgun shot. I feel better about sometimes hitting shots and stuff like that. But I always notice it happens the next day. Like even on the days where I'm really choking and I'm doing terrible, if I can just push through that frustration, then I go to bed, then I feel like the next day I'm better. Then there's also like self-talk where like you'll sabotage the show yourself, being like, and I even was making a joke about that yesterday, where I like saying that I'm so bad at the finals is not a good way to become better at the finals. You're just reinforcing like a bad pattern. So the minute that I start doing good in the finals, I think, that's not like me. Oh fuck, this is weird. I don't like this. It's odd. Let's go back to being bad, you know? So, yeah. I think it's one of those things that's a real complicated thing. Because ego, I think, in a lot of ways can be attributed to evil and bad and negative characteristics, but it also is like a good way to never, to never become better at stuff and never develop skills. Fluff says, I didn't realize the currency grind would be super slow after the initial 2K. Yeah, no, I thought the same thing, Fluff. I remember like in the first couple matches, I was like, the grind feels not that grindy, and then I'm like, oh no, as soon as you get past this hurdle, shit, it gets grindy again. Oh. Also, I say this every stream, I'm really a mouse, just so that I can actually like look at my we can look at our Discord memes again, because I really like that. I don't have a mouse to do this. I'd have to get up there and adjust and then sit back down and get there and adjust and sit back down. I didn't realize the currency grind would be so slow. Fluff says, so I should have focused on unlocking weapons or abilities rather than the gadgets. Yeah, that's a good idea too. Although apparently that's one of the things I'm shocked is a lot of the beginner weapons are actually some of the best in the finals. Like it's shocked me. It was blown away. A lot of like the heavy's main weapon is the just the drum thing. Yeah, man, the heavy. I feel like it's again. I mentioned this last time whenever we talked about the finals, but like I feel like what I currently do as far as I play the medium, but I play the medium almost as if it's a light by like dodging, having high mobility, all those kind of things. So I play the medium as if it's a light. So then the next like the thing that would have some bleed over is the light. So that I could go play light SMG and we could see how that goes, which would probably have the best like translative playstyle to me. But the one I want to play the most is the heavy at this point. But I don't think there's fucking any crossover from me learning what I'm learning with the shotgun and like the shooting and all that stuff. Like the heavy, I don't think it has like the heavy does have a shotgun, but it just fucking looks like it does nothing in terms of damage. Also, and heavy's not fast, so like the idea that you're gonna get on top of somebody and start fucking throwing down feels like it's gonna be a rarity a little bit as the heavy. Maybe if you have a shield, you just gotta play that like conservative game and get like people come to you. I don't know. Fluff says, I did get the throwing knives for the light, but currently grinding is really, yeah, man. You know, I find it was a steep curve where you start realizing, oh no, we got past the beginner, like, ooh, have fun and play with weapons, you know. But I do think when you unlock a weapon, it's